stability in the Middle East, and more important, a trading partner with the United States can never, I need to repeat that, United States can and should never turn its back on Israel.
Amen.
The recent events in Afghanistan are a true testament why the United States is so vitally important to the Middle East. I am saddened to know that right now Taliban has control of 166 Black Hawk of our military equipment. That is more than 166 nations around the world that has control of our military equipment. The Israelis are religious and hardworking people who were tried over and over again by their neighbors. However, Israelis will not bend, they will not falter, and they are people to be admired for their steadfast perseverance despite the constant attacks by their neighbors. I know this is ordained of God for me to be here today. Friday, I went to Edison, New Jersey, of all places, and I met a gentleman by the name of Rafi Hyman. And before I left, I bought a car. I got to be honest with you. I bought a vintage Cadillac, a 1976 Eldorado Cadillac, convertible. So it's a parade. But this fella had bought it. He bought it from Boca Raton, Florida, and it was his personal car. And before I left that day, after I had already wrote him a check, by the way, he asked me if I would have a word of prayer with him.
Wow.
He had lost his wife after 46 years. And I took the time, and I'm getting off my speech, but I need to share this because this is important. I talked to him and was talking about the love of Christ, and he'll never leave us comfortless. And with tears streaming down his face, right on the parking lot of his car dealership, he said, "Will you pray for me?" I wrapped my arms around him, ladies and gentlemen, and just said, "Father, even though we're different in culture and by religions, we serve Jesus Christ and the Lord of Lords and the King of Kings, and we call you Father." And I said to him, "Your word says that you never leave us comfortless. So, Father, I'm asking you not to leave my brother comfortless today." And before I left, tears came down his face. He said, "I'm coming to Baltimore just to visit you." So we had a tremendous visit there. So what is so disheartening to me is that the place that we call the Holy Land, that all three major religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, cannot live in peace and in harmony. But since the Six-Day War in 1967 and the Yom Kippur War in 1973, and although the Israelis won both of these wars, they have lived under constant attack by car bombers and suicide bombers. There are those who have suggested Israel should give the land to Palestine to stop the attacks on Israel. However, I am not sure this is the desired result, and I know that God would not be happy with that, and that would not stop the attacks. I totally supported President Trump's decision to move the American embassy to Jerusalem and to its current administration, and the current administration wants to change it and take it back to Tel Aviv. I disagree. Besides the threat of the constant attacks, Israel faces new challenges, like the United States as well, and the rest of the world. Israel has been hit hard by COVID-19. Despite the lockdown, the mask mandate, social distancing, vaccine, Israelis are still getting sick and going to the hospital. To ensure no more lockdowns, Prime Minister has entered into an agreement with Pfizer and Moderna to purchase millions of additional vaccines for 2022, around $460 million, by the way, from excess finance ministry funds. However, this has caused some concern because there was done in secret without the approval of the Knesset, and the Israel legislature may not want the vaccine. Another deal kept under the radar that has been the screen of the purchase at Tenova, the dairy conglomerate, with $2.5 billion by the Chinese company Bright Food Group of Apex. a British-owned company, giving the Chinese 56% control of Tenuva. Tenuva was started almost 80 years ago as a co-op owned by the Kibitz dairy farmers. The Bright Food is China's second largest food company. The Economic Affairs Committee and the dairy farmers have expressed strong opposition to the sale for fear that the China would control Israel's milk supply, and that is very dangerous. These behind-the-scene deals are only erode Israel's freedom. We all must stand behind Israel and bless Israel and support one thing that Israel and the United States value most, which is freedom. Freedom is the practice of Judaism. Freedom to live in according to a set of values. Freedom to earn a living. A freedom to raise family. Freedom to live peacefully. Freedom to live without interference from its neighbors. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless America. God bless Israel. And let us remember the 13 families that have lost their lives so senselessly. And what you did not hear about is the 200 people that were killed in the airport that the same day. And what you also didn't hear about was the 400 others that are seriously wounded. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to do what the Word of God says. If my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves, and I would pray that I will heal the land. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless you real good.
Amen.